been found dead only recently. The story just broke. So we'll have a look into what the hell is going on there and then take some of your calls. 0344 499 1000. Loads of calls, loads of messages. It's good to talk on Talk. We will talk in just a little while. Don't go anywhere. This is My Political Asylum. I'm Kevin O'Sullivan. You're tuned to Talk.
Watch, hear, see, talk. Argument, attitude, opinion. Across the UK, this is Talk.
Welcome back. Breaking news, as I said earlier, former Royal Marine who was charged last week with spying for China, Hong Kong to be precise, but that's now part of China, along with two other men, has been found dead on a park bench near his home in Maidenhead in Berkshire. On Sunday at 5:15, he was found by a member of the public, and when the police turned up, he was pronounced dead at the scene. The other two still face these charges, so we can't go into too many details for legal reasons, but I thought I'd get an expert on to tell us exactly what this case is all about. Obviously, the implication is that the Royal Marine, shall we say, was in a state of some distress, but we mustn't go there because we don't know exactly what's happening. But let's talk to Professor of Cyber Security, Kevin Curran. Thank you for joining us, Kevin.
Good evening, Kevin.
Yeah, if you could just, so we can't go into too many details. Very sad death of this guy, Matthew Trickett. He was 37. He was a Home Office immigration enforcement officer, and alongside two other colleagues, I think they were border force officers, Chai Luing Wai, he was 38 from Staines in Surrey, and Chung Bu Yen from Dalston in East London. All three of them are charged, so for their sake, we have to be careful. But just tell us what this case is all about, if you could, Kevin.
Yes, three men have been arrested under the National Security Act with assisting the Hong Kong Intelligence Service and foreign interference. And again, that they've been accused of espionage, really, providing information back to the Hong Kong authorities, and have been carried it out since December of 2023 and May the 1st, of this year, really. So they're due up in court. Well, they were due up in court for the 24th, which is in 3 days' time. And of course, the National Security Act came into play last year in July, actually. And this is one of the first cases where we're seeing someone in a high profile, where they've tightened up the laws in the National Security Act. What we've always had the Official Espionage Act as well, which generally applies to public officials, but now this applies to anyone who can be seen as aiding and abetting a foreign intelligence service.
Is this this new offence? I mean, would in the past this have come under the auspices of treason?
Exactly, but again, what we're seeing here again is with the National Security Act again, which is generally brought in for our Eastern rivalries. Tightens up a lot of things again to do with sabotage and, of course, accessing sites, and brings it out into the public domain more so again, because people, especially now in the technological age, people have access to a lot of systems who previously would have been, behind MOD firewalls and whatever else, and in place again, but only have access to documents and cabinets again. But we're seeing a lot of documents can leak, which are very sensitive to governments again, and so the government brought in the National Security Act to cover this.
As a professor of cybersecurity, does Britain have a problem with cybersecurity?
It's very difficult to protect all our systems, especially with, again, where we see China and Russia, of course, being the two countries which do the most active hacking against us. When you have a country like China with so many people, again, and that they've dedicated so many people in again to the technical side again, because, again, it's easier now to cause destruction in a foreign country, just through attacking the computer systems as well, and the infrastructure and critical infrastructure as well. And of course, it can be difficult to estimate how many people work for state-sponsored hacking groups, because, of course, with traditional military means, we can count the number of feet on the ground and the tanks and the planes and whatever else. But when it comes to something technical like hacking, again, it's very hard. But we have a good idea about. We know about the main threat groups, as we say, these advanced persistent threat groups again. Like APT1 and APT41. And again, so we know for sure that there's probably upwards of about 100,000 Chinese hackers who, from morning until night, that their mission is to infiltrate Western systems.
And I in no way want to draw these three accused into this discussion because we don't know the details of that. The Matthew Trickett, who is no longer with us, Chung Bien Yuan and Chi Dueng Wai are all, of course, innocent until they may be proved guilty, they may not be. So I'm not talking about them. But in terms of, you talk about hacking, cybersecurity. Now, in the old days, spying was done. Chinese agents would approach British agents and British officials and try and corrupt them and get information from them. Is that kind of process where China, wants to find people who might help them? Has that been made much easier by the internet, by social media? In other words, all these men meeting in dark alleys no longer have to do it. They can do it electronically. Is that sort of syndrome on the rise?
Absolutely. They've got dedicated teams for social media again. So there's nationalities I wouldn't touch if they approach me on social media because I'm just too suspicious about it. That, of course, it's an easy way. It's the new honeypots again that so many men, especially, fall for it again. So, of course, a lot of social media activity that they concentrate a lot on social media activity to try to fool people, to try to for anything again, because it is so easy. Again, men can be very foolish. Again.
Yeah, I know that, Kevin. I'm well aware of that. Listen, Kevin, it's a difficult conversation, but very good to have it with you. Thank you very much for your time. Kevin Curran, the excellent professor of cybersecurity there, after the sad death of Matthew Trickett, who, along with two other men, was charged with assisting of spying for Hong Kong, in other words, China. And this is a rising problem. So maybe you want to call in about it. 0344 499 1000. Talking of calling in, see what I did there? Great link. That's why I get the big bucks. We're going to go to the phones now and take a couple of